Hello, folks. So today we'll talk about uh, how you can create dynamic component in Angular. So it is very easy to create dynamic component. A dynamic component means basically you do not need to initialize in the declarations. So let me show you one by one how you can create a dynamic components. Means you do not need to declare in the declarations. Means as we know in the declaration we declare all the component whatever we create. Means if you create the component using the command, then it will add the component in this declaration also. So here now we are going to create a dynamic component. So let's see how it is working. So first component is app dynamic component demo. So this is the component that we are going to work here from here. So here we have created a context property, and here these are the dynamic component that we have added. So here we have added. So let's see the flow. So this is the one component. Then this is the dynamic component where we are creating multiple components. So here we have created two divs. Let me show you first here also how it is working. What is the flow? So this is our main component. Then we have this div. Then we have the dynamic content. Then we have these dynamic component that we have added just now. Means what it do, it basically add the content that is in this div. As you can see in this div we have added dynamic sample one. So this is the dynamic component, and if you move forward then you can see here this is dynamic sample 2. This is another means this dynamic sample 2 is a child of this dynamic component. So this is the parent component that we have where so here as you can see here we have declared the multiple. So here we have declared the multiples component, and we are showing here. So all these things in the app dynamic component, as you can see, app dynamic component, app dynamic component. So now let's move to how they have created this dynamic component. So let's see the first component flow means how this component is working. Here we are passing this input property, and here we are passing type. We are passing two properties here. So let's see. So here so if you want to means here we have created this dynamic components, sample 1, sample 2, and unknown component. So this is the class that we have created, and we are extending this dynamic component. So dynamic component is this class. This is the class that we have added, and we use the property that we are dynamically adding here. So now let's see how it is working. So here we have imported this container, which is this. Then we have input property that we have declared there. As you can see here, the type and context that we declared here. We have imported this property in this child component. We have created a mapping sample 1, sample 2. This is a simple strings. So with the sample one, we are binding this one component, and in the sample two, we are binding sample two component. So as you can see here, sample one, sample two. So we are binding different components to both the places. And here, as you can see, this is a sample one component. This is sample two component. Then what we were added here. So here we have added the component reference. What is this component reference? It represents a component created by component factory, provides access to the component instance and related objects, and provides the means of destroying the instance. So with that, we basically create a destroying the instance. So here we just created a instance of this component. So this is the component factory. With that, we create the component. Then we have a component factory resolver. It maps component to generated component factory and classes that can be used to create instance of components. A simple ratio that maps component to generated component factory classes that can be used to create instance of component. You used to obtain the factory for given component and then use the factory's create method to create a component of that type. So what it is doing here, it is just simply updating the component data. So here what we have imported, let's see, means this is a component factory that we have, and then we have a component factory resolver. Means with that we map this component factory, and then we have detector. It updated the UI, and in the nginjector unit we are doing all these things. So in the nginjector, what we are doing, firstly we are getting the component, means it is sample one, sample two, whatever the component it is. So we are passing this component here. So this is the component type. Firstly we are finding this. So currently we are get the sample one. So now what it do, so this resolver is resolving that component. So here we are passing the sample one using this resolve command component factory method. It returns the factory object that creates a component of the given type. So here we are finding out the sample one. After that, what it is doing, after that after that it is creating component. So what, so as you can see here, we have created a container. So this, in this container we are creating this using the create component method. So here we are passing this first component, which is sample one. So here this we create component method we are using. So as you can see here, this is a method of this view container ref. So here it inserted in the component inserted into the host view into the container. So as you can see, component factory. So first parameter is the component factory. So we are passing this factory. Then we have index injector. So these are the multiple parameters that we have. It returns a new component instance containing the host view. So it contains the view now. So now we are passing the context, means the input property that we have binded. So in this, here we are creating an instance, this component ref insert instance. Then we are in this we are binding this context. So this context is this property that we are getting from the parent component. So these are the key things that we are using here. Means this view container ref is basically used to bind the view in the UI. So now, so this is just a simple code that we have added. So now let's see. So here in the sample one, it is loading the sample one component, sample two is the sample two component, and the some other type it is loading the unknown component. Let me show you here. So as you can see, this is unknown component that we have. So this is unknown component that we have declared here. So whatever property we are passing, so we are passing from here. Thanks guys for watching. If you have any doubt, you can comment here.